Hi, it's Jen and welcome to my channel, and in my last video I explained that people with depression or who have experienced depressive episodes have a smaller hippocampus than people who have not experienced depressive episodes. I also explained that treatments such as antidepressants or possibly exercise can bring the hippocampus in depressed subjects back to a normal size. In this video, I will discuss the anatomy of the hippocampus as well as explain how new cells grow in the hippocampus, a process called neurogenesis. Understanding the anatomy of the hippocampus and the process of neurogenesis in the hippocampus will allow us to deeper look into how things such as antidepressants and exercise can help enhance cell growth in the hippocampus, and I will get into that in future videos. The hippocampus is one of two locations in the brain where new cells originate and grow from. The hippocampus is constantly growing new cells. However, a leading theory as to why the hippocampus is smaller in people with depression is that the hippocampus is not growing these new cells as fast in people with depression as it is for healthy subjects. This is a picture of the hippocampus closer up. The first area I want you to look at is the dentate gyrus, which has granule cells which extend to the CA3, which has pyramidal cells that extend to CA1. This picture shows you more of what it really looks like. It's not as simple as the granule cells go to the CA3 and then to the CA1. The connections are more extensive and look like this, but we don't have to look at it in great detail, but I just want you to understand what these cells really look like. Here's another picture of that same structure, just drawn slightly differently. And in this one, I want you to see how the neurons are growing in the dentate gyrus. So as you can see, this red area is the subgranule zone. And as you can see, the neurons are starting to grow and the dendrites are branching out at the top and then from near the hilus and then to the CA3, the axons are extending. This is a closer view of the subgranular zone from the last picture. As you can see, the cells extend through the subgranular zone with the dendrites on top and then the axons extending to the CA3 beneath the subgranular zone. This image is very similar to the one before, but it shows the process of how the cell begins to grow in the subgranular zone. So the blue is the brand new cell and it goes into the zone and starts to create a very immature neuron. In B2, the immature neuron is formed and the dendrites are starting to come up from the subgranule cell and the axon is extending to the CA3 region. And in B3, you can see the fully mature neuron highly branched in the dendrites and the axon extending to the CA3. This is the process of neurogenesis and how new cells are formed in the subgranular region in the hippocampus. Okay, so to recap, people who have had depressive episodes have a smaller hippocampus than people who have never had a depressive episode. This is due to less branching in the hippocampus in people who have had depressive episodes, as well as less neurogenesis in the hippocampus of people who have had a depressive episode. And as a reminder, neurogenesis is the growth of new cells in the hippocampus. In this video, I specifically shared how neurogenesis occurs in the subgranular zone in the hippocampus. Both neurogenesis and cell branching contribute to the size of the hippocampus. Thus, the more neurogenesis there is, the more new cells growing in the hippocampus there are, the bigger the hippocampus will be. Having a greater hippocampus is correlated to the ability to recall more details and facts. Additionally, as we know, the hippocampus is smaller in people who have had depressive episodes than people who have not, so we also know that the hippocampus is related to emotions in some way. Research has shown that it actually takes a few weeks for antidepressants to become effective, and that timing is also correlated with the amount of time it takes for new neurons to grow in the hippocampus. So it is theorized that neurogenesis in the hippocampus is related to the effectiveness of antidepressants. As I mentioned earlier, it is known that both exercise and antidepressant usage can increase neurogenesis in the hippocampus, so my next few videos will be about how exercise and antidepressants specifically cause neurogenesis to occur. If you like this video, please like it, and if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. As you can see right now, I'm doing a playlist on the neuroscience of depression, and as you know, my next 2 videos will be about the neurogenesis in the hippocampus due to exercise and antidepressants. So if you want to see those 2 videos, please subscribe. Please share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.